Welcome to Eye on Piscataway. I'm Councilman Steve Kahn, and I'll be filling in tonight for Mayor Brian Waller. Once again, as a result of the COVID-19 emergency, we're going to deviate from the normal live TV show we have, and we're going to show you a variety of different interviews and videos from different activities around town. I had the opportunity to once again speak with the Superintendent of Schools, and he's going to bring us up to date on some of the things that are going on in the school system. I had the opportunity to speak with Lisa Couch, who's the president of FISH, which is a charitable organization in town that really could use our help right now. And we're going to talk to the president of Piscataway Soccer Club, the president of Piscataway Little League, take a look at some videos of different things that are going on around town. Once again, it's spring, it's May. I want to make sure I begin the show by saying Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. The weather's nicer. But we still have a problem. We still have to follow the instructions from the Center for Disease Control, maintain social distance. Piscataway's done a great job. Piscataway residents have followed the advice that they've been given, and really the town's done pretty well. So that's going to be our show tonight. We'll be back again in June. Whether the show's live or whether we're going to follow the same format again, is somewhat unclear. As you know, if you watch the news, the information changes on a daily basis. I interviewed the superintendent of schools just a couple of days ago, and things have already changed since I had the opportunity to interview him. Now, as you probably have seen, the schools are closed for the balance of the year. The summer camp program, at least for now, has been suspended. Things change on a regular basis. The best way to keep informed is to look at the state's website. Or to look at Piscataway's website or Piscataway's Facebook page. We have regular updates about what's going on in town. The best updated information is right there on the township social media page. So that said, let's go take a look at some of the videos we have tonight. The first one is going to be Lisa Couch, who's the president of FISH, and it's an important interview. She runs a very important charitable organization in town.
Hi, I'm here with Lisa Couch, who is the president of FISH here in Piscataway. I wanted to talk to her about what's going on with her organization. So, good morning, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning to you. Thank you for having me.
So, not everybody may know what FISH is and what your mission is, what you do. I thought it was important to talk to you and see what's going on. So, why don't you take a minute to, introduce yourself to the town and to explain what FISH does and what your mission is.
Okay, be happy to. My name is Lisa Couch, and I am the president of FISH, and I also run the food and the clothing rooms. FISH is a service organization, an all nonprofit service organization here in Piscataway. We are celebrating our 50th year this year. And we're very proud of that because we're an all-volunteer organization. There's no payroll at FISH. Everybody that is there is a volunteer. Wonderful, wonderful people who are there from their heart. Everything that we have at FISH is donated. So any donations that you make to FISH go 100% to the program. We serve 6 towns in Middlesex County, and we serve 1 out of Somerset County. And we provide food and clothing free of charge. And like I said, we've been doing it for 50 years, and I think we do a pretty good job.
You guys do a great job. Tell folks where you're located.
We are located at 456 New Market Road in Piscataway, which is the New Market section. We are in a building known as Friendship Hall, and it is owned by the Baptist Church, and they rent it to us for $1 a year for 100 years. So I will long be there long after I've gone, and hopefully our program will continue. We're across the street from Our Lady of Fatima Catholic Church, so we're sort of right in the heart of giving, if you would say.
So tell us a little bit more about what services you have. I know you have I'm not sure, a food pantry, you have clothing for folks in need. What are some of the services that you provide?
Well, through our food room, we provide monthly allotments of food to those people who have registered, and we refer to them as our clients. And they can come once a month for food anytime that we're open during the month. Some folks don't come every month. They come every other month or only when they need it, and that's fine with us. So we provide them with 2 bags of staple groceries. And then at holiday time, for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter, we provide them with a 3rd bag of food, which has a holiday food in it for them. Through our clothing room, we provide clothing free of charge for men, women, children, and infants. We also have bedding. We have shoes, costume jewelry, all those types of needs that you would have. And those folks are limited to twice a year to come to the clothing room. We also do a great coat distribution in the fall and winter months. And that is very, very popular. We get support from a lot of the civic groups around who will go out and buy new coats for us so we can distribute those. But like I said, everything we do is free of charge, and folks we're just limited by the amount of goods that we have in order to do what we do.
So one of the reasons that I wanted to speak to you is that we're obviously in the middle of this COVID-19 really national emergency, which has created all sorts of needs of all kinds around the country and here in Piscataway. You're a volunteer organization. You rely on donations and volunteers. How is this affecting your organization?
Well, I'll tell you, our clothing room has been closed since March. The volunteers as a whole at Fish are senior citizens. And thank God for our senior citizens, because without them, the program just wouldn't flourish. But in an instance as this, obviously, they are part of the demographics that this virus attacks. And so we've had to close our clothing room since March. We've not been able to serve anybody through that program. With the food, we've only been open twice. We opened up once in April to distribute the Easter food, and we're going to open up again now the first part of May for a week to distribute the May food. And again, it's because of the fact that we just have volunteers who are just so susceptible, and we don't want to put them at risk. But we still need to serve the public. And one of the things we're doing actually in our food room is we are serving people through a drive-through, which is something we've never done. When our clients come in, they come into the parking lot, circle around, get in line in their cars. They never get out of the vehicle. We keep our social distancing. They open their trunks, we put their groceries in, and they're on their way. So I do have volunteers who are able to lift and do that kind of stuff, but really it's the volunteerism, unfortunately, that's impacting us. I will know after we open how we will do food-wise. Right now, I have to say we're okay, and that's only because we haven't been open an entire month. But after this allotment in May, I may be in need of food. We do go out and we buy fresh fruits and vegetables because we're trying to provide these folks with healthy meals, not just canned goods and other things. So monetary donations are wonderful because I can go to the produce companies and I can actually get the oranges and apples and things that we're trying to give them to keep them healthy.
So let's talk about it. So it seems to be at the moment, the problem is the inability to have folks in real numbers volunteer due to the health crisis, correct?
Yes.
So let me just go through a couple of things just to educate everybody in town. If in order to be a client, one needs, in other words, if someone's in need in our community, they would need to register, they would be signed up, and they would be able to get services through Fish. Is that how it would work?
Yes, we have a hotline number that they can call. It's a answering machine. You leave your name and number, say you want to sign up for food or clothing, whatever. A volunteer calls you back. They'll go through a process with you to see how you qualify and make your first appointment and tell you the documents you have to bring. There's certain documents, but that's it. Once you've signed up, you're signed up for the year. And yes, then you can get assistance. Also, something that we're doing just through this COVID-19 is anyone who has been affected by COVID-19, whether it's having had the virus, having lost their employment, they are considered disaster. That's the title that we put, and they can come and get food, no questions asked. We just need to help people. That's what's in our hearts at Fish. That's our goal. If you've been affected by COVID-19, you just come and we'll take care of you.
So a couple of questions. I'm familiar with your organization. I've seen it in action, and it's really impressive. You do a great job. The type of work you do is just it's really what makes a community go. So a couple questions. My wife gave me the project of going through my closet and drawers, which ask. And I have kids did it as well, so we have several bags of clothes, all in pretty good condition. I mean, how many t-shirts could I possibly wear? So if I want to donate those to Fish, or some other resident out there is listening to this and wants to donate clothes, how do I go about doing that?
Okay. During this time, we're asking folks to hold their clothing donations. The reason being is our clothing room is very small. We don't have a storage unit, and the people who sort through the clothing for us, again, are senior citizens, and they're not in right now. And there's been a lot of talk about this virus living on things and how long it lives on things. So we're just asking if you could just hold your donations. We're anticipating opening the clothing room June 1st. That's our hope. We'll see what the government has to say about that, because the clothing room is non-essential. But we are asking you, just please hold your donations for us. And once we open, we'll be certainly so glad to have them. I'm sure that once we open our doors up, we're going to be busy and we will need them. Food donations, you're welcome to bring them. We're going to be open the week of May 11th every day down in the food room. You're more than welcome to drop those off. Otherwise, you can leave them at the bottom of the steps that lead down to our food room. It's like a hallway, and it's safe from animals. You're always welcome to leave non-perishable foods there, and we come in and out during the course of the week to check on things, and we'll bring those in. But again, if you want to come when we're open, that's fine. Otherwise, you can certainly leave them there.
Okay, so I'm going to hold on to my clothes, and I suspect that there's other folks out there that have taken the time to do the same thing. And a lot of folks are sitting home right now. They're working from home. Their kids are at home, and they're wondering, what could I do? Well, here's a good opportunity for residents to contribute to our community. This is a time of real need for everybody, from the healthcare front to the poor, to those that have lost their jobs. And so to misquote President Kennedy, this is what you can do for your community. If those who can would donate clothing and food and money donations to our local organization, that would be a great contribution. Really, society is really judged by how it takes care of those who have difficulties and can't take care of themselves. So that's really why I wanted to talk to you. I understood some of the challenges that you had, your organization has right now, and is going to continue to have. And I'm asking folks out there in the community to step up and help. You don't have to help a lot. If everybody helps a little bit, we'll be better off. And so that's my challenge to the folks in the community: get out there and help your local neighbors. Lisa, is there anything else you want to tell us about your organizations, or anything else you want to tell the residents about how they could help, not just now, but in the future? You guys have been around for 50 years, and you'll probably be around for another 50.
I hope so. Just that, just anything, any donation will work. If you're in the store and tuna fish is on sale and you can pick up 1 can of tuna fish, that 1 can of tuna fish can really impact us. There's nothing that's ever too small of a donation or insignificant of a donation. when it comes to the clothing, we would prefer that the clothing be clean and not needing to be serviced, meaning, no rips or tears, no stains, no broken zippers, because we don't have a way to fix that stuff, and then we have to dispose of it. And just keep in mind that everything we do is by donation. And so every bit of money that we get, we put to good use to serve the people that we care so much about. And that's important. Volunteer, whether it's with us or with, whoever, the Red Cross or whatever. 5 minutes of your time, if there's something you can do at home. But it's so important to those of us that are in these organizations that rely heavily on volunteers. You can find something to do. You can make a difference, and that's so important, especially in this atmosphere. I am anticipating that we are going to be very busy when we open our doors on May 11th. If you are interested in volunteering with us or finding out more about things that you can do, certainly reach out to me through our website or through the email that's on there, and I will be back in touch with you. We have drivers that go out to the food stores 6 days a week, and they rescue food from them. I'm always looking for healthy men who can lift, who can drive, who can be a helper on the truck. So it runs the gamut. And just, again, reach out to me, and we'll try to find a place for you at Fish and work with the schedule that you might have available.
Well, thank you very much. You can also donate money, cash, correct?
Oh, yes. We use the cash to obviously pay the light bill, pay the heat bill, the insurance, but more so to buy any product that we don't have, that we run low on when the demand exceeds what we have. So we can, we're a partner agency with the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. We can go to them down in Hillside and buy things much more cheaply than we could if we went to a food store. So again, for a local organization, it's a wonderful, not because I'm in it, but because that's how I got involved. Was I thought, it's a wonderful group. I know where my money's going, and it's staying local. And to me, that was important. So yes, any donation would be greatly accepted and used for the program and the people that we help directly.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on. I want to thank you for the great work that you folks are doing. You are an example of what makes Piscataway a great community. And again, my challenge out there, not everybody can be a healthcare worker. Not everybody is a healthcare worker, but this is something that you can do small. And if we all row together in the same direction, we could really make a difference. So thanks very much for the great work that you and your volunteers do. I hope that the crisis is over soon. We could all get back to normal, but it may take a while. So thank you. It's very good to talk to you. I appreciate you taking the time.
And I appreciate you having me on and listening. Thank you so much.
I'm here at Holmes Marshall Firehouse. It's one of our fire companies, volunteer fire companies in Piscataway. And despite the national emergency, the fire companies, the rescue squads, they have to work, and they're here to serve the community. So I'm here today with Chief Billy Jackson and First Lieutenant Brian Waller, and we're going to talk a little bit about what precautions the fire service is using, how they're still responding to calls, and just to give you folks some general information about what's going on with the fire and rescue volunteers in town. So anyway, good to see you guys. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Steve.
Chief, how are you?
Very good.
I saw you the other day. It's always good to see you. So
Yes, sir.
anyway, Chief, you're the chief here at Holmes Marshall Fire Company. It's all volunteer fire company, correct?
Correct.
And obviously you guys are still up and responding, so we wanted to ask you a couple questions about that. How you guys doing? How you working? Special training? What can you tell the folks at home?
Right now, we work with the Middlesex County coordinator, fire coordinator. So I have to give them an update on any symptoms that the firefighters have. I do a check-in. I did my first check-in with everyone, and just to make sure they're okay, family's okay, no symptoms, and so far everybody's good. What we also do is we've changed our tactics. We try to get a heads up from Piscataway PD if there is COVID-19 in the residents that we owe to, so we kind of can adjust as we go. We wear N95s in the rig because we're close, and then we may put on the surgical mask once we're out.
Okay, and the N95 is the
That's the
top of the
full-
line,
Right.
top of the line mask.
Yes, sir.
So how about, a typical call? A lot of times it's an alarm call. We may have 5 or 6 guys that respond. Are you modifying the way crews are working at all, Chief?
Yeah, so we go in, we try to limit so if we have a full crew, they're masked up. But we have 2 in, and that's it. The officer, if I take Brian as example, he would talk to the residents, he would be outside, 2 firefighters would go in with their either N95s or the surgical mask.
Okay.
And if we see that it's escalated to a serious situation, then we mask up with our air packs.
And I believe so far we've been lucky is that we don't really have any firefighters or rescue squad people who have been ill, and everybody's been up and working.
Yes.
I guess that's the case with Holmes Marshall, correct?
Yes.
Anyway, Lieutenant Waller, a lot of times you're one of the line officers out there. Can you just tell the folks at home a little bit about how you guys have been adjusting or responding differently to the situation out in the field?
So it's like a really different situation now. Going up to a house, you have to take a step back, make sure you're 6 feet apart when you're talking to the residents. We have our mask on, trying to communicate. And, we send limited personnel inside because we don't know what's really inside, COVID or not COVID. And I can urge all the residents, if you have like a surgical mask or cloth, if you know we're coming, it'll really help us out if you could put that on. Just wait, we have our mask, you have your mask, and that really limits exposure to any type of COVID. So we're really trying to encourage that. If you have any cloth or masks, before we come in, to put that on to help protect us so we can help protect you.
So we get annual training of all sorts, and we get training that's kind of related to the bloodborne pathogens
That's correct.
course, which is kind of related to this. So I guess the folks at home may not know. So we've had some training in this area before.
That's correct. Yep.
And
OSHA. Yep.
And there's, I guess to both of you, there's certain procedures that the firefighters go through when encountering civilians, really, residents, correct?
Right. Yeah.
And none of this, even though the COVID is new, the training that we've had over the years is we're basically being able to use that. Is that right, Chief?
Correct. We just kind of like you said, we had to add certain things that wasn't there. Normally, we just go in with an air pack, and you go in with no mask. So now we go in with surgical masks or N95s.
Right.
So that's a little different. Changing our tactics is a little different.
Right. So I guess to sum it up, you're working as safe as you can,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And there's been, I guess, unfortunately, there's been in the last 30 days or so, a couple of different house fires in town.
Yes, about 2 within the last 30 days.
And there's times where firefighters have to do what they have to do. So
Yes.
anyway, I appreciate anything you want to say to the residents at all, either one of you, about what's going on with the Holmes Marshal or the fire service?
Staying in your homes. Try to limit going out. And when you go out to the supermarkets, to the restaurants, you want to put on your mask. It's very important. You don't know what's in these places. So there's so many people coming in and out. So you don't know. Even the supermarkets, I put on gloves. So I'm not going to touch anything that other people have touched. This virus is very deadly. It can spread.
So I guess the best thing we can tell folks at home is the fire service is working. We're there to protect.
Right.
You guys are there to protect, and appreciate the great job you guys do at Holmes Marshal. Anything about you, Lieutenant?
Yeah, as what the chief said, stay 6 feet apart. Try not to go out if you can help it. And if you're interested about joining Holmes Marshal, we can't really have people come down and look. You always can call us or email us. There's a lot of hole. But after the pandemic passed, you can always join if you want. And stay 6 feet apart and wear your masks.
Thanks, guys.
Hi, I'm here with my daughter Annabelle because she's my Zoom assistant. Your kids are usually much more technologically savvy than you are. And we're here today to talk to 4th Ward Councilwoman Michele Lombardi. May is Piscataway Pride Month, and she's spearheading that. And Annabelle's here also because she loves Michele and wanted to say hello. How are you, Michele?
I'm great. Thanks for inviting me. Hi, Annabelle.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. All right.
Right, she's got to go back to school, virtual school. Bye, Annabelle.
Bye.
When she heard you were going to be on, she hasn't seen you in, I guess, 2 months.
I know. I miss all my clients.
I appreciate the effort you're putting in. It's great at times like this at Piscataway. Pride Month is May, and there's a bunch of different activities that we're trying to do. And so can you take a few moments and let the residents know what it's about and what's going on?
Yeah, definitely. During times when people are unsure or uncertain if they're going to have their graduations, their proms, and all of those things like that, I just wanted to do something that would cheer everybody up and get the community involved in a little bit of a community spirit, we're with you type of event. So basically what it is we're looking for the residents to go out and decorate their homes. They could be thanking any of the frontliners. They can put out their American flags. They could put out the black and gold ribbon. Whatever they want to do to decorate. It doesn't have to be complicated. They can make it elaborate. They can make it simple or use what they have in the house, just to commemorate and honor all of the people in our community. So as I said, I got a few signs made up thanking the medical field, the nurses, the doctors, and all of our fire and EMS personnel, just to thank them. I'm going to put them out with some American flags. And then I have a few Piscataway t-shirts. I'm going to string them on a rope and hang them from the front of the house, just to show my support of all the kids that might not be having a graduation at the high school. I do have a niece that's not going to have a that she's unsure if she's going to have her graduation at a Monmouth College. I have a nephew that's supposed to graduate at Hunterdon. So I just want to honor all those people that are having, a tough time and maybe cheer them up.
So that's a really great concept. Are we going to do anything, photograph it, anything with our website to show off some of these homes, to the rest of the community that can't get out and get around?
Yeah, so kind of the way we used to do the decorating contest, it's pretty neat. We've set up a website. The website is pride@piscatawaynj.org, and the residents can submit their photos to that, and we'll put them up on our township website. If they want to offer their addresses, that would be great too, because then people can ride around and then take a look at the various decorations and displays that people have done all over the town.
Okay, that would be great. Hopefully, it's one of the things that makes our town terrific is the community participation, and we've always really been good at that community activity. I did want to ask you one more question, then on a slightly different subject, and then we'll come back to that.
Sure.
You've been the one who's created and managed the spring cleanup every year, and we had to put that off, which is really disappointing. Are there any plans to potentially do that later in the year, in the fall? Have you given that any thought, Michelle?
Well, the Clean Communities Grant, there are a couple of other things that we do during the course of the year, not just the cleanup. We do work with that grant and a group doing cleaning the rivers and the streams. So we have one of those during the course of the year, and one of our other township employees spearheads that, Maria. So I'm sure if we can, we'll probably get to that. But I believe that the annual cleanup with all of the Girl Scouts and Brownies and various community groups, we will probably wait to do that till next spring, just to be safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great event. I've been there with my kids. You do a great job in that. I'm looking forward, when everything works itself out, to getting back out there and cleaning up the town.
Yeah, we'll get there.
It's been, I'm used to seeing you every week. It's great to see you virtually, I guess. So before we go, Michelle, I know you've been you've been out there online, and you've been out there supporting a lot of our local businesses, which is great. Everybody really should appreciate the effort you've put in the last several weeks. Is there anything else you want to say to the residents, before we go?
No, I just want to try to get everybody involved in a community spirit type thing here. And I want to wish everybody good health. I hope everything is good with their families. Stay strong, and just remember that Piscataway will get through this together. I have a T-shirt on today. It says, "Keep calm and bleed black and gold." So, we'll get through this together. I know it's getting tough the longer it goes for everybody, but I know we'll get through it together.
Well, very nice. Say hello to Nick for me and your mom and your sisters. I look forward to seeing everybody soon.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye now.
Have a great day.
We want to take a look at some of the video and discuss a little bit of what construction projects are going on. This is Kossuth Street, which has been under construction for a while. This should be finished sometime in mid-June. You'll see some video of the different work that's going on in Kossuth. We have other streets that are going to be under construction this year. Last night at our council meeting, we awarded contracts for Riverview and Kroger, which are off River Road and as well as Morris Avenue. These are the guys working over on Kossuth. We also have some video of the work over in the Possumtown area. And at the very end of this clip, we have some video of the first phase of the reconstruction on Centennial. This is still Kossuth. Guys are out there paving. Again, Kossuth's taking a while, but should be done in the next couple weeks. This is Wynwood. Now we're over in the Possumtown area. Wynwood and Haywood, which were started in the spring, are going to be finished in the next couple of weeks. The contractors are back out there mobilized. We also have Linwood and Crestwood, parts of those streets that are under construction as well, and they'll be done this spring. We plan the next couple of streets over there are 2nd Avenue. 2nd is going to be done in phases beginning in 2021. 2nd's a long street. It's the biggest street over there, and that street's the next one up, as well as 3rd. We have some engineering work we're doing on a variety of streets, and the plan over in the Possumtown area is to do a couple of streets a year until we've been able to reconstruct the whole area. Here's a Centennial. This is the first portion of Centennial. The portion that runs up to River Road is going to be a total reconstruction with a bike path. That's the next phase of it. This is the Centennial, a repaving leading up to Hose Lane. We're out here on a beautiful spring morning in Piscataway on Green Acres Complex. I'm out here on the soccer field with Mike Meyercheck, who's the president of Piscataway Soccer Club. Wanted to check in with Mike to see what the status of soccer was, what the plans are for soccer this spring, and I guess rolling into the fall as well. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you today, Steve?
Good. So I guess we wanted to know, the residents at home want to know the latest as with regard to soccer. What can you tell us?
All right. Well, based on the governor moving the date that any decisions can be made on loosening controls until May 17th, we've met virtually with our board of directors on Friday night, and I have the following information to provide. Our club has 4 distinct programs. We have our Little Kickers and instructional program, which is our in-town program. We have our Inter-County Youth Soccer League, which is our traveling rec program. We have the Mid-New Jersey Travel League, which is our first level of carded players. And then we have the next upper level of travel, which is highly competitive at Eastern Development Program, EDP. So I'll address each one individually. Since the Little Kickers and instructional program runs between 10 to 12 weeks, we don't feel we can get a full season in currently, so we've decided to cancel that with the little kids from Little Kickers all the way through the top level of instructional. And we're going to roll over all the registrations to the fall. Those who don't want registrations rolled over, we'll offer them refunds. They can fill out a form online that we'll post shortly, and then we'll issue paper checks. Unfortunately, we can't do credit card refunds with the system that we have. We will, if the governor does allow us to do some in-town programs coming late May and early into June, we will see about setting up a short late spring, early summer instructional Little Kicker program that will run separately and open registration at a discounted rate. I'm hoping that the parents will take the rollover registration because it'll be actually helpful to them, because this fall we were scheduled for rate increases. So we've decided that anybody that takes the rollover to the fall will not be charged the additional rate due to our increased costs in training. Our next level is the Inter-County Youth Soccer League, which is a traveling rec program. That league has decided to hold it off until May 17th to see what the governor's got to say about in town and traveling programs and social distancing. So I have no news on Intercounty Soccer League, Youth Soccer League, until the governor gives us more information on or about May 17th. Our first level of travel carded players is the Mid-New Jersey Youth Soccer League. Their board of directors late on Thursday or Friday decided to cancel the spring season. So again, we will be doing the same thing with the instructional kids. We will be rolling over those registrations and actually rolling over complete teams from the spring to the fall. Normally, this is a time where early May where we're out here on the fields and we're doing tryouts and getting ready to form our teams from spring now for fall and spring next year. Our travel teams run from fall to the spring each and every year. So again, we're going to roll over those registrations, roll over the complete teams, and then again, you'll save money if you take that rollover instead of a refund, because there will be an increased fee in the fall. But we'll waive that if you roll over your registrations to the fall. Large open scale tryouts, that will not happen this year. What we will do is in August, if it's allowed, we will have team-oriented tryouts for our travel teams to see about picking up additional players and opening up to any instructional players that want to try out for travel soccer this coming fall season. Our final program is the EDP program, which is the Eastern Development Program. Again, their board of directors has decided to wait until May 17th to decide on how to proceed. They are looking to try to get a shortened season in through June, July, and early August. That's about all I have right now. I know it's been a lot. I emailed out to the entire membership, and I posted on our Facebook page all that information late last night. If you have any questions, my email address is on the website. Please drop me a line, and I will do my best to get back to you within 24 hours.
Just a couple quick questions, and I probably should have asked you this at the beginning. I'm familiar with the soccer club, but not everybody in town is. It's made up of volunteer board members and coaches. A lot of parents are involved. Just to give us an idea, how many kids in Piscataway play soccer through the club?
We have, depending on the season, anywhere between 650 to 700 kids, in the club at the different levels. But keep in mind that like unlike other programs in the town, they're short ranges and ages. The soccer club, we take everything from 3-year-olds, which is our little kickers, all the way up to EDP in New Jersey, which runs to U18. So we've got 3-year-olds to 17-year-olds. Obviously, they're not playing together because they play at their individual age groups, but we do have multiple teams at some age groups. But it is from 3 years old up to 17.
And once again, if I'm a parent, I'm sitting at home watching the show, and my kid doesn't play soccer, and I'm interested in playing in the coming season or coming years, the Piscataway website or Facebook page is the best place to go for information?
You can register online at our piscatawaysoccer.org website. We'll be opening registration for new players for the fall season, and we're going to be actually opening up travel tryouts registration, which is a free option. So if you're interested in travel soccer and you want to you give it a shot, register for free on the travel soccer registration link once you create an account. If you look in the upper right-hand corner of the website, there's a link that says register here, and you register yourself as a parent, and then you could create an account for your child or children, and then you could pick the age-appropriate programs. If you register for travel tryouts, we'll contact you when we have individual team tryouts available sometime this summer.
Well, thanks, Mike. You do a great job. The board does a great job. All the parents and coaches do a great job. I'm looking forward. Usually when I see you up here, there's hundreds and hundreds of kids running around having fun. Hopefully we'll get back to that real soon. Anyway, good luck, Mike. Thanks.
Thank you. It's a crazy world we all live in right now. I'm so much more looking forward to being back to normal. And I just want to end by saying thank you to all the volunteers that run the club, all our volunteer coaches, all the volunteer board members. We do this because we have a love of the game, and then we love our community, and we want to give back. So I thank you, each and every board member, for all your time and effort. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. I'm out here today with First Ward Councilman Frank Earn and the president of Piscataway Little League. We're out here on a beautiful day. We're out here on our beautiful Little League complex. It looks great. The only thing that's missing, of course, is we don't have hundreds of kids out here enjoying themselves on a beautiful spring day. But we're here today to talk to Frank, to see if we can get an update on the status of Little League and some of the kids' sports in town. So anyway, good morning, Frank. Good to see you.
Good morning, Steve. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. So
That's
can you
good.
can you tell folks you're the president of Little League as well as the first ward councilman in town? Can you tell us what the latest status is, as best you know, on Little League?
Okay, the update is for Little League. Little League International did cancel the World Series and all the regional games, so that's not going to happen this year. As far as Piscataway Little League, we're just waiting for the township to open up as far as T-ball goes, and that's when we will open up. As far as a date, we just have to sit and wait.
So I guess we got a couple of minutes. We might as well talk about the fall. We have fall sports as well in Piscataway, and I know you're actively involved in the Pop Warner program. Can you tell us a little bit about the Pop Warner football program, the plans for the fall?
Okay, well, we got some good news with Pop Warner. Registration opens up May 7th, this Thursday. You go online, the Piscataway website, and click on the recreation, and you sign up. It's important that everybody signs up because we want to get the teams together. We're going to be doing a flag team, a Mighty Might, a junior peewee, and a peewee team, which ages are from 5 to 12 years old. We're not doing junior varsity this year. Our season is set to start the Sunday after Labor Day and go till November 1st. Practices we're going to be doing starting August 5th and doing 3 days a week because we moved to Division 3.
Okay. If folks are at home and they want to get updated information, is there a website, Facebook page? Where can they get information?
For Pop Warner, just go to the recreation website. They have updates on there.
Piscataway Township Recreation
Yeah,
website.
Piscataway Township Recreation. Just click on recreation and the form will be there for you to fill out. Just do it online. Don't worry about turning in paperwork to recreation. We'll send you an update when we're going to start collecting paperwork.
How about Little League? Is there a Little League website or a Facebook page, some social media that has updated information?
They can go on the Little League International. Everything's on there. They got the COVID-19 update and what's going on with Little League International.
Okay, well, I appreciate, thanks, Frank, for bringing us up to date. And I want to thank you as well, because even though there's no games, you have guys up here and they're all maintaining the fields. They've never looked better. As we said a few minutes ago, we just need the kids up here to have some fun.
Good morning, Dr. Ranelli. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How about you?
You good? We have to stop meeting this way.
Yes. Someday soon, hopefully we'll get to meet in person and, shake each other's hands.
Well, I owe you a cup of coffee. As soon as the fog clears, you let me know, and I'll come over and bring you some coffee.
I'd like that.
I greatly appreciate the time you spent with us last month. It was really informative. We played the video, and there was a tremendous amount of positive feedback about the information that you were able to provide about the schools. And we wanted to go ahead and get an update from you. I know you're really busy, so I greatly appreciate the time that you've given us here last month and then again this month. So, we were chatting a little bit before the cameras came on about some of the changes and how they're playing out. So I guess I wanted to begin there. Last time we spoke, the educational process wasn't as interactive as you wanted it to be, and you took a little bit of a pause and made some changes. As a parent, I've seen that. How does it look from the school side, and how you all doing with that?
So first, I'd like to back up and talk about the information and the time that we spend together. I think in this time that we have, in this crazy, tragic situation that we have, keeping people informed is the most important thing. As long as people feel like we're on top of things and have the information, that is the most important. I try to send updates to the families, every few days, and try to stay really on top of the information and communication to the staff, and as well as the township. I talk to the township members and the police department as much as I can, and we work really well together. So I appreciate that. And in answering your question, yeah, we did make some changes. We were on the heels of it right when we spoke. And then I think that Monday we went to, different changes, and it's been terrific. You're correct. It was more interactive, and now it's more scheduled to where teachers for different subjects have different days they can post assignments. We took care of the safety situation with the Zoom and with those types of platforms to where teachers can be interactive with students and not violate any privacy, things like that. But it's been terrific. The teachers and the administrators and have been raving about it. And we get a lot of emails from parents that are positive saying all these teachers really stepped up and are taking care of my kids well.
Well, I would agree with you. The best thing that we can do as local officials is to communicate with the residents as to what's going on. The mayor's been, on a weekly basis updating folks. And I know you and the mayor have been communicating on a regular basis. And the partnership that we've had for a long time, but it's gotten better between the schools and the township is really key, not just in this crisis, but going forward. We're going to have a lot of challenges in the next several months and years based on the fallout from where we are now. But I've seen the changes here at home. As we speak, I'm in my little home office, and my children are online. They're literally interacting with their teachers and classmates, and the difference between the way it was 4 or 5 weeks ago and now, it's tremendous, night and day. So I thank you for that. You've shown great leadership. I mean, the teachers are doing a great job. And the students, of course, the students they've adapted pretty well. It's the grown-ups sometimes that struggle, but you guys have done a great job. I want to thank you for the effort you put in. So what's new? What's going on? What changes in the balance of the school year are you all planning?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you. Positive feedback for us is really it helps us recharge and motivate. This new normal right now is kind of crazy, but we've adapted well. And I talk to the staff a lot, and a lot of times I leave a little tag at the bottom. And being calm in these days is being a superhero, right? To remain calm is a superpower, and it's just amazing. Really appreciate the staff and what they've done. The patience and partnerships of the parents has been great. And just to hear what you've experienced as a parent, makes us feel really good that the changes we make are still making an impact, on the kids and their education. So I appreciate that. So, what we're doing and what we're looking forward to is all different scenarios. So we are planning for every scenario. As you know, the executive orders from the governor will be readdressed about schools on or around May 15th. But we can't wait till May 15th to plan. So we are planning for all different scenarios, whether we come back to school or whether we don't, how the end of the year looks, especially celebrating our seniors. The prom is supposed to be on June 4th, and then graduation was supposed to be on June 18th. So we have to plan for all different scenarios for that. And on the heels of this, and more importantly, is planning for when we re-enter the buildings and how that's going to look. If the governor flipped a switch on May 15th and said, yeah, everybody's back, it wouldn't be that easy, right? And there would be obviously a lot of restrictions. A lot of people would feel scared to come back right away. So we are planning for every scenario, and hopefully we have all our bases covered.
What I know it's a moving target, but what can you tell us about what some of the potential plans are, assuming that kids go back to school before the end of the year?
So, the potential plans would be to look at the governor's executive orders and say, well, how many people could congregate at once, right? So, just looking at our hallways and our cafeterias. So we have 400 kids in our cafeterias eating lunch at one time. Right now, the golf courses will be open tomorrow morning, but you can only go out in a group of 4, right? So it's going to be difficult to imagine us coming back before the end of the school year and being at all normal. So I wouldn't even want to put out plans to get anything in people's minds about what we possibly would do. But we would follow the executive order, and really we would look at how we would congregate people. Would masks be required? How do we deal with someone who has a fever in school, like a student who develops a fever during the day? The bus situation, the cleaning of the bathrooms, the cafeterias, the classrooms, the doorknobs, the water fountains. Right now, and I'll speak to the golf courses again. Not that I'm going golfing tomorrow, but if you look at the orders, the water fountain, the water coolers can't be there. The bathrooms need to be sanitized. The golf carts need to be sanitized in a certain way. And that's just one facet of how the governor is attacking opening parks and golf courses. Opening schools is a whole nother issue. So I personally, in my professional opinion, can't see us being back, but I don't make those decisions.
I agree with you. The logistical challenges, the health challenges that you just outlined are very difficult to deal with, very difficult to enforce, and probably not worth the risk for the minimal benefits of a couple weeks of school. But again, you and I don't make those decisions. We just have to work with them.
Right. We'll manage whatever decisions that we have to. And keeping our staff safe is extremely important to us. Right. If we have staff members who have compromised immune systems in any way, if we're back before the end of the year, I can't see them saying, "Sure, I'll come back, no problem." We want to make sure everybody is taken care. Not to mention students who have parents who have some kind of situation at home. We wouldn't want them being a carrier to take that home. So again, in my professional opinion, personal opinion as well, I don't know that we'd be back, but we'll plan for every situation that we have to.
Just have a couple more questions because I
Sure.
think you're ready. How are you approaching this? You have a task force, a group of people that are working together. What's your approach to dealing with these challenges?
Sure. So we have an emergency response team that we assembled back in early February when this started creeping into our country and things like that. And we get together in this forum, once a week, more if necessary. I also have what we call cabinet meetings, which is the central office team, which we put together any kind of plan. We have them normally. We have them once a week in a normal situation. So we continue to have those. And we're with the emergency response team, we're putting together a quote unquote reentry program or plan to deal with transportation, health, hygiene, cafeterias, the closeout of school. How are students going to get things out of their lockers? Right? Things like that. There are so many details that we have to cover. We also meet with the superintendents in this forum once a week, and if not more, of the county. And we come up with some great ideas and we steal from each other and do whatever we have to try to make sense of all the situation. But a lot of Zoom meetings. I didn't know these could be so exhausting. These are Zoom meetings, but they are. And it all comes down to planning and trying to think of all the details that we possibly can. Transportation, food service, what happens in the summer, right? We have a very big summer program. Like what happens there? Are we allowed to have that starting when we normally would start that? So there's a lot of questions out there that we have to plan for different scenarios.
Yeah, that was my next question about what, if any, plans there were for the summer. That's important to my family and a lot of folks in town.
Yeah. So we are planning right now to open as normal. The registrations, I think, are open already online through our community ed program. But we have contingency plans. If the governor tells us that we can't congregate with people more than a certain amount, parents are going to have to understand that they'll get a refund up until the day when we can be back. We have plans for, again, to open as normal at the end of June. But we'll also have to have a plan to open August 1st, right? To have a month of summer camp or whatever it may be that makes sense based on what the executive orders are. Again, the safety and security of our staff and students and their families at home.
I can see you and your team are doing a great job. If there's something that the township can do, if you need some resources from the mayor, I know you and the mayor speak on a regular basis on these issues, but if there's something that you think we can assist with logistically, manpower wise, please reach out to us and include us because the school system is a tremendous part of our community. And
well, we appreciate that, and already the township has donated masks for our essential workers. Vice versa, we're lending Tom Mosier in the police department a infrared light goggle cleaner so he could clean the masks that his policemen use. So the partnership's been terrific. We appreciate the masks have been tremendous. I mean, our people who have to work we need to feel as safe as possible, and that donation from the township has been great. So I appreciate it. Yeah, we speak on a regular basis with Tim Dacey, yourself, Tom Mosier, and even Gene, right? Talking about the communication and how we're communicating information to the community.
well, we're in this together, and we got to conquer it together. And I appreciate your leadership. You're doing a great job. Your teachers are doing a great job. Your staff is doing a great job. I'm proud of it's one of the things we can really be proud of as a community about the way the school system is together and handled this crisis.
I have a great team that does a lot of work, and they make everybody look good. So I'll give all the credit to them. They're a great bunch of people, and even the teachers now are really stepping up and taking care of kids in ways they could not have imagined in January.
I'm going to let you get back to work, but I'm going to let you have the last word. Any comments you have, any words you have for those parents and teachers and residents out there?
Sure. I just as I said a second ago, I want to thank everyone for their patience, their communication with us. The suggestions that come in from parents are tremendous, particularly in this particular time when the seniors of our high school, the Piscataway High School seniors, are going potentially to miss out on some of the things that typically celebrate their culmination of their high school years. And we are on top of that. It's very important for us to celebrate our seniors as best we can. So just want to communicate that. But overall, the staff is doing a great job, our administrators, and I want to thank everybody for their patience and understanding with everything, not to mention the creative ways that everybody's interacting with each other.
Well, once again, it's good to see you, and I owe you coffee. I'll come to you. I'm going to bring the coffee to you.
I'm looking forward to it, Steve. Thank you very much, and be safe. I hope your family's doing well, and have a good weekend.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Everybody stay safe, stay healthy. We'll be back again in June. Once again, happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. We're going to end the show by taking a look at some of our beautiful Piscataway parks that we recently reconstructed. Something to look forward to as the weather gets warmer and we all get back to normal.